Hey, seventh graders. So I told you that I would record a separate video for solving equations or checking your answers on equations with DESMOS. So I'm just going to go on over to DESMOS.com. This is not the same calculator that we've been using. We've been using the scientific calculator on DESMOS. This is the graphing calculator on DESMOS. And this is the calculator that you will use from 8th grade on until you get out of high school. You will use this DESMOS calculator. This graphing calculator is embedded into the 8th grade EOG. It's also embedded into all the EOCs for high school. So get used to this. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and introduce you to it. So we've been doing solving equations. And I'm going to continue that. I'm just on IXL here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to solve this equation that you see right here, the 3b minus 9, so on, first. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to check my answer on DESMOS. And so let's first solve this. We've got -3 times b minus 9 equals 6. So I'm going to distribute my -3 in. That's -3b, and that's going to be a plus 27 equals 6. I'm going to move this plus 27 over here. That's going to be -27. So I get -3b equals, that's going to be -21. Divide by -3 on both sides, and I'll get b equals +7. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go over here to DESMOS. I want to check and see if I got that correct. When I enter this on DESMOS, what I need to do is enter each side of the equation on a different line. Okay, so I'm going to enter on one side, I'm going to enter this, and on the other side, get a different color, I'm going to enter the right side of the equals. Okay, so on the left side, if I just entered, let me just show you what would happen if all I did was enter -3 and then in parentheses b minus 9. That won't work. It's asking me to add a slider, and what that means is one where I can like change the numbers from 1 to 10 or whatever. What I need to do instead is, first thing I want to do on every one of these is I'm going to enter what we call f of x. All that is f and then x in parentheses and then equals. So f of x equals, f of x is the same thing as y. When you get to 8th grade, you'll understand all that. The other thing I need to do is, no matter what the variable is in that equation, I need to use x. Okay, so now you see that this has graphed a red line. Okay, so each side of this equation is actually a different equation. It's an expression, but you can set it up as an equation and you can graph it. So I have now graphed -3 times b minus 9, but I used x instead because that's the only way it'll graph on this graphing calculator. And on the other side, I want to graph f of x equals, and then my blue side of my equation, which is 6. Okay, and it actually graphed a blue line there. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So you see that the red and the blue, they cross right here. So what I'm looking for is where they intersect or where they cross. And if you take your cursor or your mouse and you click right there, it will show you the point where they intersect. And then if you click it one more time, it'll show you this ordered pair, 7, 6. What you want to look at every time, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to get my page marker, is oh, and then it disappeared, sorry. Click here twice. I'm looking for, oh, okay. So when I clicked it, I got parentheses 7, 6. You always want to look for that first number. So this is the number we're looking for, the first one. It's 7. That helps me check my answer. Now I'm going to just go back over, make sure. Yep, I got 7 as my answer. And, oh, I can't move that, sorry. I got 7 as my first value here, and I got 7 as my answer here. So it should help you to check your answers on your equations if you use your graphing calculator. I'm going to do one more. Let me get rid of all of this writing. Let's just jump up a level. Okay, so this time we have 7b equals 6b minus 4. So let's go ahead and solve that. I don't have anything that needs to be simplified. I just need to move the 6b over here. Just remember us doing that before. Change it to a negative 6b. 7b and 6b, or negative 6b, I'm done with that, is 1b. And this was a negative 4. So b equals negative 4. Okay, so let's go over here to our graphing calculator. And you can leave these right here. It doesn't matter. You can start a new line. So on one side, I'm going to enter, or you know what else you could do? Let me change that. The other thing you can do is just back out of this until you get the f of x equals and just leave that. So the 7b is going to go here, but remember I have to change my variable to an x. I also have to make it visible. I have made it invisible. Okay, so let me see if you can find that line. There it is. Okay, so it's that red line right there. The other side was 6b minus 4, but remember I need to make it 6x minus 4. So all of the variables have to be x's. Okay, let's see if we can find, oh, I made it invisible. There it is. Okay, so where do these two lines cross? And it's really hard to tell on this one, but if I click somewhere in here, it will show it to me. And there it is right there. My first value here is negative 4, and it does match what I got over here. So the answer is negative 4. I'm going to back out of these again, and we'll try another one. Okay. You know what? We'll just put in a negative 4 here and move on to the next one. We said negative 4. All right. Okay, on this one, I have, so let's see, 10j minus 10. We'll do this side in red. 10j minus 10 equals, and then my blue side, negative 2 plus 9j. You could go ahead and change the variable here if you wanted to. You can go ahead and change it to the x here. Okay, so I don't have anything to simplify. My red side is simplified. My blue side is simplified. I just need to circle stuff that's out of place. So I'm going to circle my negative 10 because that's a constant on the left. Move it over here. Change it to a positive 10. And I'm going to, excuse me, and I'm going to circle my 9j. It's positive 9j. Move it over here. Change it to a negative 9j. You can cross these out, remember? And then I think we drew a box around these. And then we combined them. 10 minus 9 is 1. 1j equals, that's going to be 8. All right, let's check our answer. Come over here to the graphing calculator. I'm going to enter the original red side, which is this. Let me go ahead and do the blue as well. This was the blue. And remember, I'm going to be changing the j's to x's. 10x minus 10. Okay, so there's my red side. My blue side is negative 2 plus, plus 9x. Okay, so yeah, these do intersect somewhere up here. I just need to move it around a little bit, click over here somewhere, and it will show me where they intersect. And again, my first value, remember it's not, you don't look at the second one. This is called the x value. We're looking at the x value, and it was 8, and we got 8 over here. So just to kind of recap, you're going to have two lines on DESMOS. You're going to have f of x equals, or f parentheses x parentheses equals for each of the lines. Okay, make sure they're different colors. It's easier to see them that way. You're going to enter one of the sides of the equals marks on one of the lines. So I have my 10j minus 10, 10x minus 10. Change any variable to the x, to x. Okay, and then the blue side I put here, and you just type it in exactly like it looks. If it has decimals in it, if it has fractions in it, it'll still work. Okay, so I entered negative 2 plus 9x. Remember, the j changes to the x. And then I look for where they cross each other. And sometimes you have to back out of that thing, and you can do that with your mouse pad with 2 fingers. If you go up, it'll it'll zoom out. If you pull towards you, it'll zoom in. I needed to go to zoom out because it was going to be up here somewhere. Also, you can drag it down. Whoops. You can drag it down, and I need to find where they intersect. And again, if you can't see it because they're so close together, just click somewhere close and it'll show you. If it puts the point there, that'll be it. Look at the first number. So the first one before the comma, and that is the answer. And we did that, and 8 checked out. So that's it. That's how you can use the DESMOS graphing calculator, desmos.com. Just click on graphing calculator, and you can use that to check your answers on your equations. I just wanted to add one thing. If you get a decimal answer and you're supposed to have a fraction, then you go over to your scientific calculator. And let's say you get like a 1.575 or something. Enter that right there, and then click this fraction bar, and it'll give it to you as a simplified improper fraction. So, and if you need a fraction, if you need a decimal, I think it always shows you the decimal on Desmos. So it always gives you the decimal, but if you need it to be a fraction, type in the fraction it gives you. You can round it or whatever, and then click that fraction button, and it's going to change it to a fraction for you.